You're listening to Good Morning Gwinnett, hosted by Audrey Bell-Kearney, Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Monday and Wednesday, Audrey talks business, and on Tuesday and Thursday, she talks about AI. Grab a pen and some paper so you can take notes. Now on with the show.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, all my Gwinnetians out there in Gwinnett land and all of my friends around the world. It's a sunshiny day, but it's a cold day here in Gwinnett County, 34 degrees going up to a high of 48. So it's gonna be chilly all day. It feels like winter here in Georgia. You know that's kind of rare for us. Like when we get it's like what is happening? Is climate change really happening? Because we have them really beautiful Christmas days, but it's cold today. It is cold. Well, we got 2 more days before it's Christmas. Two more today and tomorrow, and then we wake 2 more days on wake up, as my mom used to say. So my mom used to work at the youth house in Newark, detention center. The youth detention. It wasn't a house. It was a straight up the behind the bars detention center with some bad kids. And but my mother loved it, and they loved her. Everybody called her Mama Bell. And this time of the year was her favorite time of the year, like Thanksgiving and Christmas. She loved Thanksgiving and Christmas, and this is always a hard time, especially Christmas. Christmas is always a little hard for me because the last time I saw her was 2 days after Christmas. I saw her on the 27th, and I never saw her again because the pandemic, we was in full on mass pandemic at the time, and she contracted COVID and she went into the hospital. I never saw her again. But this was her favorite time of the year, and she would when she worked at the youth house, she worked with a lot of kids, so she loved kids. And she always wanted to do nice things for kids, so they loved her. Everybody called her Mama Bell. But she would always come home and she would be saying these things. I'm like, what are you saying? And she's like, all the slang that the kids said in the youth house, she would come home and say the same slang. So she would say stuff, oh my God, I got one more day and I wake up. And I was like, what does that mean? That means you got 2 more days before you wake up to get to what you got to go. So we got 2 more days. We got one more day and a wake up. That's what we got. I think that's right. But anyway, she's always say these things. I remember when DMX came out with the song, y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here, up in here. I had no idea because I've been an entrepreneur for so long, and I was an entrepreneur during that time, and I had no idea what this because I didn't listen to the radio very often. I was always just listening to like audio books and all that kind of stuff. And she was singing the song, like, "What you singing?" And she was singing, "Y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here, up in here." And I was like, "Oh my God!" So I had a gangster mother, but she was the best mother in the world. My brother and I, we have nothing bad to say about my mom. She was the absolute best, and I hear some horrific parent stories. Like, I can't say the same for my dad because he wasn't there, but my mother, she was the absolute best. My brother and I know y'all, I'm gonna get on to the show, so it's a good show. I'm gonna be talking about how to start your self publishing business. But I'm having a moment. Let me have my moment. This is a rough time of the year for me, so I need a moment of reflection. But my brother and I, we think about my mom. She raised us by herself. We didn't want for much of nothing, right? Even though we grew up in Newark, we grew up kind of in the hood, not kind of in the hood. We grew up in the hood. Newark was the hood. But that was our hood. My brother goes back there any chance he gets. And I do too. I visit sometimes too. Um, but we didn't want for much, right? I remember my mother saying no to me one time. One time, like we would ask her for something and she would get it for us. She worked 2, 3 jobs. She took care of us. And I remember her saying no to me just once in my entire life, y'all. Just once. And let me tell you when it was. My friend Rosa, who's my friend, we were 15 years old and they were giving a bus ride to Wildwood. And of course, there was gonna be boys on the bus, and I was gonna be gone like all day. And I wanted to go on the bus ride. She's like, "I don't have no money," and I know that wasn't true. She said, "I don't have any money for the bus ride to go to Wildwood," and I know that wasn't true. I know she didn't want me to go on that bus ride because there's gonna be boys on the bus, so I didn't get to go on that bus ride. I did get to go to Wildwood one day, but it wasn't that day because she's like, "Nah, you can't. Nah, I don't have any money." So instead of just saying no, you can't go, she's like, "I don't have any money." So I wasn't gonna question it, and I said, "Okay." I mean, I got me a book, which is what I did, and I went in my room and I read. That's what I did. Anyway, that's a little bit about my mom. Miss you, Evelyn Bell. You were the rock that held us. My mother was literally the glue that held our family together. And now that she's gone, it's scattered. It's like tattered into pieces. And it's crazy because you don't know how much somebody meant to collect them until they're not there. When they're gone, you can see it. Like my Christmas and this Thanksgiving, Yeah, I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. But I can just imagine what I look back in the past on my past Thanksgivings, and I'm like, man, it's not it. I didn't feel it this year. I don't feel Christmas this year, and I love Christmas, but I'm in my feelings, y'all, and I've been in my feelings for like the last few days. So anyway, I digress and I move on. Say show for you. And the reason I did this show today was because I think it was Saturday. Saturday, I get my email about what's happening and what's going on, and with my books and stuff. So I got an email say your royalty report is here from Findaway from my audiobook. So the Lyran Legacy, the Starseed Chronicles Begins was a book that I created in October with AI. It's a fiction book, fiction fantasy, and I put it on all of these platforms for me to sell. And I put it on Amazon. It's on Barnes and Noble. It's Books a Million. I know people think Books a Million is still around. It is. There are Books a Millions out here. It's on all the bookstores and all the digital platforms. It's everywhere, and it's an audiobook on Spotify. And so I get my report, and I was like, okay, let me just open it because I opened it up last month report, like October report, and it was like zero. And I was like, oh, let me just open up, November, and it was $1.42 in royalties there. Now I know for somebody that doesn't sound like a lot, but I've never earned one penny from audiobooks. You know why? Because I never put my books in audiobook. I've never done that. Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. I just made money from an audiobook. So I was excited about that. And when I started to think about my business, Noise Media Network, which is a content creation business, it's what I do every day. I'm doing some kind of content. You listen to the sound of my voice. Once we get finished the show, you can go and read the article. I'm creating content pretty much every single day, even when I'm supposed to be resting. And I was like, wait a minute. I need to go back and seriously relook at this whole self-publishing thing and like frame out my business. So I did. So I went because the Lyran Legacy is a series of 8 books, right? And now I'm thinking, wait a minute, I'm gonna have 8, but I need to put all of them on Audible, and it needs to be everywhere. YouTube Music, it needs to be everywhere. And so that gave me a lot of hope, and it gave me a good insight on how to, make self-publishing a big part of Noise Media Network moving forward. And I decided to share my blueprint for what I'm doing with you. So first of all, let's talk about AI and self-publishing. Here's the thing. It was so funny. There's a guy on YouTube. I follow him. I forgot his name. I think it's called the nerdy novelist. That's his name. And he's one of those people who's been self-publishing a long time, like myself, but he's been doing it more seriously as a business. I kind of been just dibbing and dabbing. He's been seriously doing it as a business, making a lot of money from his books, which I have not been doing that because I've been dibbing and dabbing. But he's always like when AI first came out, everybody was upset about people writing books with AI and all this stuff. And so he was like, this is, he pretty much was saying he he thought it was not a good thing, but it's gonna happen anyway. Now he has completely flipped like, look, it's happening. It's happening. Here's the thing. AI is revolutioning a lot of industries, not just the writing industry, like a lot of them. You have to figure out where you fit into this revolution, right? So, for those of you who have been on the fence and wanting to write a book, now if you try to write your autobiography, the best thing I could tell you is to sit down with ChatGPT and speak it into ChatGPT. Hey, I'm gonna tell my story because I may write my book. I might write a book about my mom in the pandemic. I might, but I'm gonna tell my story, and you let AI record the whole thing and then turn it into a book. You can do that with ChatGPT. So you may have to figure out where you fit in the revolution. For me, I'm in the media space. I'm in the content creation space, which means I'm using AI all day long. I use it to do songs like the songs that you hear on my show. I use AI for that. I use it to help me write my articles. And I tell you, I love my articles. I don't know how well they're ranking, but I've seen my Google Analytics. I'm like, wait a minute, my site is taking off. Like it's a lot of things happening right now, and AI is causing a lot of things to happen in a good way. Now, do I think somewhere down the line it's going to flip out? Yeah, I do, because it's becoming really smart. Like OpenAI just said AGI is here. So OpenAI has O3. I've been using O1. Now they have O3. So um it's happening around us, but I want you to take a minute and to figure out how to put this part, how to leverage AI to help you revolutionize what you're trying to do. Specifically today we're talking about self-publishing. So now, um the reason I like this tool is because you can come up with a thought in your mind and you can tweak your thought. Like when I did the Lyran Legacy, I had never heard of a star seed. I had never heard of anything until I was looking at YouTube one night and I was like, huh, what is that? Because I've been fascinated by all of that stuff my entire life. I've been fascinated by planets and outer space and, history and all of these my entire life. Like those things fascinate me. And I love history. Like I will watch the History Channel, all the things on History Channel. When I see things about history in general, they fascinate me. So when I came across, now some people say, "Oh, it's New Age." Is this? I don't care what it is. It fascinates me, and I'm gonna continue to focus on the things that I like, that I enjoy, and things that fascinate me. So when I saw this thing about these star seeds. Cause I'm a big horoscope person. A lot of people don't believe in the horoscope. Here's my thing, right? And I don't understand how people could just say astrology is evil. Well, how do you think we learn how to read? First of all, who knew there was a planet called Mars and it was red? Somebody had to tell us this stuff. So people are so close-minded about so many things. It just baffles me. I'm like, oh my God, like whatever, you know, astrology is evil. Astrology is not evil. Like it is something that we if we weren't meant to learn about astrology, do you think God would let somebody come down here and learn it and then share it with the rest of the world? Like think about that part. Oh, I don't believe in that. It's nothing but telling you how things are lined up in your charts and it's crazy. I can't even get into that conversation. But people want to they have a one track mind about certain things, right? And they want to stay in that. I can't do that. It's too much history around me. It's you got calendars were created by people thousands and thousands of years ago. People learned how to count, and then they told us thousands of years ago. They told us there were planets in the sky. Who told us that? Somebody had to tell us that. And there really are planets up there because there's a rover from NASA running around on Mars. How did you know that? Did you know there was a red planet called Mars? Who told you that? So I can't block that stuff out. Anyway, I just can't. Me personally, I get it. People only want to believe the Bible. I get that too. I believe the Bible, but I also believe that there's so much more beyond the Bible because there are millions and millions and millions and millions of years beyond the Bible. The Bible was 2 or 3 thousand years ago. There were years before that. So what do we do? Ignore all of that stuff and just believe, well, listen, we only gonna believe what's in the Bible. I can't do that. So anyway, I digress. I came across this thing called starseeds. I said, oh, that looks interesting because it did, because I had never heard of it. Then the more I watched them, like, wow, that's really intriguing, right? Then they started talking about which star seed are you? And I was like, well, how do you know the difference? So I go into YouTube and I click in what's the different star seeds, and they give me a list of star seeds, right? But then they give me all the attributes for the star seed, this and this and this and this. And then I came to one and I had all the attributes for that star seed. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. I'm talking about right down to my ears, like literally my ears. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. That star seed sounds a lot like who I am. It said entrepreneur. It had all of the traits that I had, right? Which I thought that was nuts. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna write this book called The Lyran Legacy because I felt like I was from Lyran. I'm a Lyran star seed. Yes, I know I'm human, but if I looked at the star seed charts, I will be a Lyran right down to my ears because they have cat-like features, which I have very pointed ears. If you ever get the chance to see me, both my ears are pointed and they're made completely different from each other. Like they're pointed, but they're not the same. Like totally different, pointed totally different ways, which is crazy. And so I'm like, wait a minute, I'm gonna write a book about this. So I couldn't even sleep that night. I got up, I got the chat GBT, and I'm telling it what I want to do, and I'm giving it all these ideas. And I said, write me the outline for these books. It gave me 8 books. I was like, oh my God. And then I wrote the first one. So I shared that story with you to let you know. And it took me about 2 days to get it the way I want to get it. Then I had to transfer it over to the system so I can turn it into a book and the cover and all that. Even my cover, people love the cover of that book. That's all AI, all of it, right? Except for like the dedications and all that stuff. But for the most part, the book is AI. Now, why am I sharing this with you? Because I want you to understand that right now you have one of the best opportunities in this world if you take advantage of it. If you sit back and you don't take advantage of it, you're gonna miss the boat. Right? Because then you're gonna become a straight up consumer like most people do. They don't believe anything, they won't do anything until it's too late. I've done that. Or I've not done that. What I've always done is been the first in line, jump in both feet in, and by the time everybody else catch up to me, I'm burned out. I ain't doing this with AI. AI came out in 2022. I've been riding that thing since 2022. And guess what? I'm doing all kinds of things with AI, including self-publishing books. So here's how AI is going to help you with your self-publishing. It's going to help you take an idea that's in your head, speak it into a machine, and write a book for you. That's how it's gonna help you. So if you have, I have a bunch of ideas. I got one about my grandmother, which is funny. I have one about two of my grandmothers. My grandmother on my dad's side and my grandmother on my mom's side. Two different stories though. Same time, the same kind of era, but two different stories. And one is based on me growing up with my grandmother. Because my mom became a single mom, my grandmother took care of us until she passed away. She passed away when she was 55 from liver cancer. Um, my grandmother took us to, she was the one who took care of us. So she had these things that she did. She was actually the first entrepreneur I knew. I just didn't know what it meant back then. So I got one about, and I got a whole cute name for it and everything. Then I got one about my other grandmother who I never met, never seen, want to see her so bad. I have cousins in California who have pictures of her who just want to, I said, listen, tell them to take a picture of the picture. I would just like to see what she looked like. I have no idea what she looks like. Like my cousin, my oldest cousin on that side, she knows what she looks like. I don't know what she looked like. So I have two stories, but her story is horrific. Like the story that my cousin told me, that is a horrific story. Um, so but I would like to turn it into a fiction. And kind of like fictionalize it, but because I believe it'll be a bestseller. Like I really do. I believe both of them will be a bestseller, and they're based on my grandparents. But I'm gonna do those stories. I'm gonna use AI to do so much this year, and that's what I'm telling you. Even if you don't want to write fiction, you know, think about how you can create amazing coloring books, right? You could do. Do you know how popular adult coloring books are? I had no idea until people were telling me, "Oh yeah, I buy color." Adults buy a ton of coloring books, a ton of them. You can use AI to create the most amazing coloring images for your book. Original, tell her what you want, tell her how you want the person to be standing. It's amazing. It is amazing. So you got that part, right? And then you got children's books. I met a guy, he's going to be speaking at the Georgia AI Summit, which is coming up in May. So be sure to go to the Gwinnett Women's Chamber of Commerce website, GwinnettWomen'sChamber.com, to find out more information about the Georgia AI Summit, which we are hosting again this year. And it's going to be May of 2025. He did 18 children books in 30 days because of AI. So he's one of my speakers to talk about that process. 18 children's book. Did you hear what I just said? He did 18 children's book in 30 days. And I'm like, wow. And so I met him because I was at the library. We were all doing book signings. He sold so many children books at the library. If I were him, I would do nothing but go on library tours. That's all I would do, and do readings and sell books. That's all I would do, because he sold the most books out of everybody. I met a young lady who when she was at our Macy's pop-up book event. She had journals. She sold the most out of everybody in the group because she had these amazing journals that she used AI to create the covers and the page. I'm talking about gorgeous. She sold so many journals. I was like, heck, I need to make some journals. So I'm sharing all this with you to say times have changed and people still buy. And I know people think, oh, it's like cheating. It's not like cheating. It's called leverage. People do it every day. They leverage you when you go to work. You don't think you're leveraged? If you're getting up every day and you're going to work, there's a CEO somewhere that's leveraging you and your time. It's called leverage. You got to get out of your head about, oh, it's not right. Listen, unless you want to stay where you are, get out of your head and think of it as business. This segment is called self-publishing as a business today. So I want you to think about that. I want you to think about where you want to be in 2025 and what you want to do, and how to understand that these tools are here to help you. If you have ever thought about writing a story, I'm talking about ever, and you have the concept down, put that thing over in Chat GPT and let it help you out. And you may not want that. They have straight up book softwares right now that you can actually put your book into and read and write. You don't have to use chat. I use chat GPT because it was like, hey, let me go in there and use. So I used a GPT that someone made on chat GPT. And I was like, this is so cool. So, at the end of the day, you have to learn how to say, you know what? I want to do this thing as a business. That's what I'm saying. When I got that $1.42, and I know people's like, you excited about $1.42? I sure am. You know why? Because I've never made a penny on audiobooks ever, because I've never put out an audiobook. So for me I get royalties all the time from Amazon, but I've never gotten a royalty from an audiobook because I never put out one. So that was a stream of income I've been missing for years. I won't do it this year. Not this year. I got a bunch of books I'm writing, and all my fictions will definitely be on Spotify. Every one of them. So I'm gonna go to a song. Then I'm gonna come back, and we're gonna talk more about how to write your book. We're gonna talk about start taking it and turning it into a business. All right, because that's the part I know you came here to listen to. So stay tuned. I'll be right back.
Yeah, can I get mistletoe? Ooh, yeah, sparkling lights, hearts that glow. Feel the joy, let it show, let it show. Holiday cheer, let it flow. Snowflakes falling crystal clear, smiles and laughter bring it near. Cookies baking, scents of dear. Holidays, they're finally here. Eggnog and holiday cheer, everybody dancing near. Magic moments year to year, festive love we hold so dear. Hey now then, holiday cheer, cheer. Everybody dancing near. Magic moments year to year, festive love we hold so dear. Silent nights behind hearts so loud. Winter wonder in the crowd. Celebrate, shout it proud. Holiday vibes, they're so wild. Eggnog and holiday cheer, everybody dancing near. Magic moments year to year, festive love we hold so dear. Lights are twinkling, spirits bright, together we feel so right. Holidays a pure delight, make no cheers through the night. Silent nights behind hearts so loud. Yeah. Winter wonder in the crowd, yeah, in the crowd. Celebrate, shout it proud, yeah, yeah. Holiday vibes, we're so wild. Lights are twinkling, spirits bright, together we feel so right. Oh, holidays a pure delight, make no cheers through the night.
That song right there. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm sorry. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's your girl, Audrey Bell-Kearney. You're listening to the Good Morning Gwinnett show. And today I'm talking about self-publishing as a business. That song and all the songs that you've heard for Christmas were made with AI. They're all original songs that I was like, yeah, make a song about holiday cheer eggnog. That's what I said. The only thing I had to figure out how to get the song to sound the way I want it to sound. I don't just like the sound. I just want something. I want something that sounds like a me, and I may have to clone my voice and put it out there. And I hope they do that. That would be great. Because if they would say, hey, you can clone your voice and sing your own, oh my God, that would be amazing. I need to put that as a request. Hey, I want to clone my own voice and sing my own songs. That would be great. I don't know if I would like people like my voice though. It's like, oh, you can sing. I'm like, nah, not really. But anyway, welcome back, welcome back. Talking about self-publishing as a business today. And I want to just walk you through some stuff. Now I'm gonna have a full-blown article like goodmorninggwinnett.com. So if you want to check it out, you can go to goodmorninggwinnett.com in about 10 minutes and it'll be published. But self-publishing is a great way. I've been self-publishing since, oh my God, since 1998 was when we did our first book. It was a collaboration. And I did it with two friends, and then I did another book that was a collaboration when I started working from home. Did another called From the Home Front. I did another book, and that was like people story, like how did you, how do you market and all, which is interesting because back then nobody wanted to share the information about how they was marketing anything. Now it's all over the place because it was like a secret, like I can't tell you because if I tell you, you're gonna use it too. Now it's not like that. It's not like that at all. So um it's different. But anyway, that's how long I've been self-published since 1998. And I remember when we were out there, it was only one book on the market that we could find about self-publishing. It was a really little thin book. It was by Dan Pointer, and he was the only one who I had seen who had written that book about self-publishing. Later on, we got a book that had 1,001 ways to self-publish to market your book, and I forgot who that person was. I still have that book to this day because a lot of the stuff that's in the book is evergreen, like PR and flyers and all that stuff is evergreen. So anyway, so let's think about this. So first of all, I want you to figure out what you want to write about. Right? That's the first step. Figure out what you want to write about. Put it all on paper. Put the whole concept, talk about who the people are and all that kind of stuff. When I did it, I gave the concept. And I have another great concept that was going to be a comic book. But this is going to turn out to, and it still may be a comic book. I may leave the concept was the bomb. I was like, that is so, and I had planned on making that into a movie because it was so cool. Even with the Lyron Legacies, like that was something I still am thinking about turning into a movie. But anyway, think about what you want to write about, right? And then pick a tool. There's so many tools out there right now for you to actually write your book. There are so many tools that will help assist you in editing your book. So if you just want to literally sit down and type it out yourself, you can still do that. Nobody's going to stop you from doing it. It's just the hard way. That's all I'm saying. There's an easier way, and that's the hard way. So you think about that, right? And then after you do that, you get your first draft back. You go through the draft, which is what I did, which is crazy because the first time I was like, yeah, the first part of my book was so good. I was like, yeah, it's good. But then I read the book, and then I think it was page 101 to 103. There was a section in there that just did not make sense. I was like, okay, this doesn't make sense. But published it on Amazon at that point. I said, this don't make no sense right here. This section right here don't go together. Like it doesn't go together, right? So if you got the very first book that came off the press, like I have three, they're author copies. So I have those, and they have the section in it, and so I'm gonna sign those because one day those are gonna be worth some money when I'm gone. It has an error. That was an error, in my opinion, and I took it out. So the next printing of the book is a correct printing. But there are about three books, and you bought the book when I first put it out, like the first week, maybe. I think I left it up for a week. I was like, look, and I was talking about it on the show. If you bought this book in this first week, you got a collector's item. When you see me, let me sign it because it has an error in there. So I went back and I had to take it out and I had to republish the book. So those are the type of things you can do, right? So come up with a concept, read it, have it. They got editing tools, AI editing tools. I'm sorry, editors. I'm so sorry. Here's the thing. The tools are amazing, and I used to pay people to edit. I don't have to do that anymore. Heck, I pretty much self-edited my entire book. Like there was chapters, like two chapters I totally rewrote. Like, yeah, I don't like the way this sound. Rewrite this and do this, and this is me in AI. Like, I don't like the way that sounds. Rewrite it and do it, say it this way and put this person in. I didn't use an editor. So you go in now, you get your manuscript together, you get it edited. Now it's all polished and it's ready to go. AI got great tools, like it really does. Grammarly, you got Pro Writing Aid, you got AutoCorrect, great tools. I'm sorry, editors, but they got great tools out there that you don't have to, you don't have to, um, you don't have to hire an editor anymore. And I'm sorry. Want your book formatted. I format all my books either in Canva, depending on what type of book. Like the journals, I use Canva. My book, I use Word. Like I've always used Word, and it always works. So, but they got platforms like Atticus and Vellum that will format your book for Kindle and ebooks. Now, here's what I got to tell you about Kindle and ebooks. If you're trying to publish a book that has a bunch of pictures in it for Kindle, it's not going to come out right. I did that for a client. I didn't know it. Never published a picture book. She had a lot of pictures in her book. It came out horrible because it does not optimize well in the Kindle reader. So think about that when you're doing your book. If you want people to read it on Kindle, there's a certain way you need to get it formatted. I couldn't figure that format out. I'm sure somebody on Fiverr knows how to do it. What we decided to do was take the ebook completely out. The pictures were horrible because the Kindle reader is reading like just text pretty much. So you have a lot of graphics in your book. That's not going to work out well. I've seen it. It looks horrible. It was a terrible reading experience for the person reading it. She showed it to me. I'm like, oh wow, because I'm thinking if I'm gonna do it in an ebook and a Kindle reader, ebook is one. Kindle reader, it's gonna just transfer over. It does not. So you need to understand that even though your book is in print on Amazon and you want to put it in Kindle so it can be read in the Kindle reader, make sure to find out about them images. Because I did a book for a client. It was horrible. So we just deleted the whole Kindle book. All right, so that's that. Now, when I think about the book business, let's talk about the book as a business, right? Building your book business with AI. This is what I think about now. Now that I know that there's money to be made in audio. Here's what my book is. My book is everywhere. My book is on Amazon. It's on all of the platforms. I put it through Ingram Spark, so it's going to be in the libraries. Be for Self for libraries. It's going to be. It's on Google Books. It's on Apple Books. That book is everywhere. And your book will be and I haven't done a lot of marketing yet, but the book is everywhere. I haven't taken it seriously because I've been trying to figure out how to get Noise Media Network back on track the way I want to. And when I saw that, I was like, wait a minute, I really enjoy this about my company, just like I enjoy podcasting. I enjoy books. I have a lot of them. I read a lot of them. I've written a lot of them. I enjoy this part of my life. How about I put out amazing stories in all of these different platforms and turn that into a big chunk of what Noise Media Network is. Podcasting and video is one side, and ebook and book publishing is the other side. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So when you think about this as a business, think about what you could do. Do you want to have audiobooks? You know, I can tell you this right now. YouTube has a feature, and let's say you want to say, you know what, Audrey, I want to give my books away for free. YouTube has a feature right now built into YouTube that's podcast, right? It says podcast. What that does is syndicate whatever you're podcasting to YouTube Music. So when I used to do Good Morning Gwinnett, there was a tab inside of my podcast studio where I could syndicate automatically to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter automatically, and Tumblr. And then they removed it. And I was like, oh my God, why did they remove that? Well, they removed it because YouTube has its own tab for its own podcast. And guess what it does? It syndicates your show or your book or whatever to YouTube Music. Now, you may not get paid for that, but your content is available on YouTube Music. Now, let me tell you how I'm going to use that to push my books. I'm going to set up a separate YouTube channel just for and I said separate. I may not. I may just put it on the Bookpreneur because I can set it up into playlist on the Bookpreneur. I think I'm going to do that because the Bookpreneur is already set up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create these stories, these chapter movies about the book, right? And I got 20 chapters in this book. I'm gonna create chapter movies. They're gonna be short little movies to get your palate wet so you can go buy the book. Because that's the purpose. The purpose of this is to entice the reader or the listener or the watcher to go out, go to Amazon, go to Books A Million, go to Books Google Books, Apple Books, Barnes and Noble, and buy the book. That's what it's for. But YouTube is a great platform for that. So in 2025, that's my plan. My plan is to create chapter movies for that book, for the Lyran Legacy, to Star Seed Chronicles Begin, chapter movies to write my next book and put it out and do the same thing for every book. So now, instead of me giving the whole chapter away, I'm just going to do a snippet of the chapter, like a minute. So I can do a 1-minute video. And then I'm going to put the story over on YouTube. And so now I want people to go and buy the book. So that's and the goal is to grow the YouTube channel so I can get monetized and become a partner on YouTube and get monetized, right? The other goal is to push people to the book so they can buy the book so I can get more money. And the other goal is to push them to the audio book so they can listen to the entire book, but they can't listen unless they pay Spotify. Now, I will say this. I was a little bit like, I need to go back and understand like why I got $1.42 out of $12.99 is digital. So the book is on Spotify for $12.99. Right? Out of that $12.99, I got $1.42. I kind of liken that to like the artists that are on Spotify. Like a lot of people don't like streaming platforms because they get robbed. I can see why. So I got a digital book. I got an audio book that I'm charging $12.99 for on Spotify, and out of that $12.99, I make $1 and 42 cents. But that's Spotify for you. I'm thinking, well, I'm supposed to be making more money, and I got to go back and look at that. I'm still excited. For $1.42 don't sound like a lot, but that could easily add up because guess what? If 1,000 people did that, that's $1,420. And I didn't even read the book. Or AI read the book. Like it's not even my voice that's reading the book. So I ain't complaining for real. Not at all. Because AI is actually reading my book on audio. I didn't want to use people like I want to use my own voice. I don't. I don't want to sit down there and try to read the book. Hell, I have enough time trying to talk to y'all right here without stumbling and stammering and stuttering. I don't want to try to sit there and read a book. I'm gonna sound like a robot. I'm gonna sound worse than a robot. I already know that. So developing your book business, right? You're going to create multiple streams of income. One of the things you can look at is merchandising, right? You got audio books, you got the book, you got the ebooks. You can do you can do your ebook on your own website as a PDF download where you keep all of the money versus minus, what if you use Stripe or PayPal, they're gonna take everybody gonna take their percentage, but they won't be taking like out of $12 and $11.50. They won't be doing that. You know what I'm saying? So you get the chance to, and you can do this because I'm thinking about doing this for a couple of things I'm doing. You can have an entire site just yours, just your site, where you sell all of your books, just yours, as PDFs. Your whole book business is based on you putting all your books on your site and you selling all this PDF downloads. And people can download them and they pay money. So that whole $12.99, you probably get $11.99 out of that $12.99 because they're gonna get their fees. So think about that. So this is a way to think about your book business. So now you got hardcover books, softcover books, you got audio books, you have ebooks, you have Kindle Reader, books on Kindle Reader, you got ebooks on your own website, you got merchandising. Once you actually get your book to the get this down pat, you can turn your knowledge into a course, right? The bookpreneur is gonna be a course. I've been toying around with that for a second, but it's literally gonna turn into a course. And now you got all these multiple streams of income. Then you got to figure out how to sell a book. So to me, that's the hardest part. Getting the book created is the easy part. Trying to figure out how to sell a book is the hard part. And the reason I say, and I'm not saying that to deter you, but the reason I say that is because literally the book can be done in a day. Literally cover everything. You can even send it on up to Amazon, and in 72 hours they're gonna say it's published or not. 9 times out of 10, if you pass a preliminary inspection through Amazon, if you don't get any red flags right there, your book is gonna be published on Amazon in a couple of days, 3 days tops. But most of the time it's a day, right? So you know now you got to figure out, how am I going to grow this book business, and that's where the work comes in. It the work to growing your book business come in right there, because getting the book done, getting a website put up, that's all easy stuff. Even with that, y'all, if you said, I need and you do need a website. I don't care what anybody tells you, you need a website. You can go to like a Hostinger. So I need to become an affiliate for them. But you can go to like a Hostinger and type in, I'm an author. My book series is about this, and it will create the website in 30 seconds. Sorry, web designers. Listen, I develop websites. I don't want to do that anymore. I would rather refer somebody over to one of those platforms and say, hey, just go in there and type in what you want. It's gonna create your entire website. Now somebody's not gonna do that because even that is gonna be too technical. So web designers, you still have a place in this world. But for you, the person listening to me, you need a website. So if you know that's not you, then find your web designer. But if you know you can go in there and type in some words and give it some thoughts and move some stuff around on the computer, create your website. Right? Now, how much is all this going to cost you? Well, it depends. So, websites, depending on where you get it hosted at, and I hope I'm not rambling, but I'm trying to get you to the point where you understand that this could really be a business. Okay, so first you got to figure out what the book is going to be about. Then you have to write the book. Then once you write the book, you have to get the book edited. Then once you get the book edited, you got to put it on all the platforms. You can put it on Ingram Spark or Drafted Digital. Drafted Digital, I use Ingram Spark. They all do pretty much the same thing, but you can say I don't want to use Ingram Sparks for this, and I don't want to use Drafted Digital for that, and I don't want to use Amazon at all because I'm going to use the other two to submit to Amazon. So I went straight to Amazon first because that's what I've always done. Then I went to Drafted Digital. Then I went to Ingram Sparks because I wanted to make sure that I was on all the platforms. You could just go to one and you can be pretty much be on all of the platforms. So that's your next thing. So you want to get on all these platforms. I went to Lulu because I don't think anybody syndicated to Lulu and nobody syndicated to Google Books. So I put it on Lulu, on Lulu.com, which is another self-publishing platform. I put it on Google Books. Now in Google Books, what was nice about that is that it took the book and turned it into an audio for me. That's how I was able to get on Findaway, which is the audio platform that distributed the audio books to Spotify. I know it sounds like a lot, right? I'm gonna give a class because that is a good class. I'm gonna give a class on that. Yeah, I'm gonna give a class on that. So, um, that's the process, right? That's your process, and then you have to register your business as a business. Now, if this is really a business for you, you need to register it as a business. Now, if you already have a business registered, right? If you already had like an LLC or something registered, and you might want to just consult with a tax professional to make sure you're doing um, the right, uh, uh, the right business construction. That's what's the word I'm looking for. You register your business as the right type of business, right? I use LLCs. And that's probably all you need, but talk to a tax consultant and make sure that you get that solid that this is the structure of my business. It's gonna be structured as an LLC, or S corp, or C corp. I'm not telling you to do any of those. I'm telling you consult with someone. I've always used LLCs. I used the S corp one time and didn't know what we were doing at the advice of somebody who didn't know what they were doing. So from that point on, I've always used LLCs. But when you don't know, you don't know. When you know better, you do better. All right. So set your business up as an LLC. If you already have a business already structured as whatever LLC, whatever you got it structured as, you may want to see how to include this into your business. Now, let me say this: it needs to make sense. If you are a if you are a restaurant owner and your business is already structured and you want to become a self-publisher, I will hope that you're self-publishing cookbooks. Eating healthy books. You don't want to go in there and publish fiction unless it's about fiction in a restaurant, which is kind of nice actually. Fiction for restaurants. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to make sure it makes sense. For me, I have a media marketing agency. I create media. I create content. It fits perfectly in what I do. I'm a content creator. That's what I do. So it makes a lot of sense for me to just drop Bookpreneur and all the stuff I do directly into Noise Media because that's what I do. It needs to make sense. If it does not make sense, you may want to think about starting a second LLC. If you do that, understand that there are going to be two tax liabilities on both companies. So you need to make sure it makes sense. Go talk to a tax professional to make sure it makes sense. All right. You have to have the mindset for this. That's the most important thing about all of this. If your mindset is not set up to become a bookpreneur, you will fail because this is going to be one of the hardest things you'll ever do in your life. I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to keep it real. So you have to have the mindset. If I'm telling you to go and do all these things, you say, "Oh my God," you might want to rethink this. You might want to find somebody out there who's already doing publishing and they can help you get going. You pay them, and you just be a sole proprietor and you just, it's kind of like a hobby. Your book is on Amazon because that's the only platform that you're on because that's the only one you paid for because somebody helped you get on there because you're going to pay somebody. Like when people come to me to get their book on Amazon, people do all the time. It's $200. Why? Because it's my time. I'm going to skip the line for you and I'm going to get you on Amazon. I just had a client though and she was so sweet. When I tell you I would have been, she had a client and then she became my client for me to get her on Amazon. When I tell you, I want to, like, if, and her client was saying, we want the book to be up by Christmas, right? And I'm like, what? We had to do so much reconstruction to that book. They had to pay me extra money because I was like, this book, Amazon is rejecting it left and right. And she was so sweet and so kind and so just calm all the time. Had my client been saying I want my book done by Christmas, I would have been pulling all my hair out. Now she was a client and she was saying it. I knew what I was doing. So I was like, yeah, we can get it done, but it's gonna have to be reconstructed. And we reconstructed that thing and it came out gorgeous. So if you don't know what you're doing, the premise of that, if you don't find somebody to do. Don't sit there and waste a lot of time pulling your hair out because you don't know what you're doing. Pay the money and and get the people to get it done for you. Her client book was up by Christmas, and I was like, "Happy holidays! I'm on my way to go visit my aunt." Right? So, mindset, register your business, come up with some book titles, let AI help you write the book, Let AI help you edit the book. Let AI help you create the cover for the book. Beautiful. My cover. My daughter's like, that is beautiful. The cover of my book is gorgeous. All AI. Let AI build your website for you. Listen, you hear what I'm saying? Let AI be everything I've said so far, except for mindset. AI is done for you, right? Now you got a website. Let AI come up with your marketing plan for your book, and now you got to execute. 2025 is about execution. I'm declaring that for you and myself. 2025 is about execution. AI has written your book. AI has edited your book. AI has did the cover for your book. AI has done your website. AI has done your marketing plan. Now it's time for you to execute. Your mindset needs to be the first thing that you fix, the very first thing. And then you hit the ground running. Hit the ground running. And then when you get ready to scale the book, you use more AI to help you with operations. I'm creating a smart bot for Bookpreneur right now. And I'm creating a piece of software as a SaaS, not a chat bot. I'm creating a SaaS for Bookpreneur. It's gonna be fly. It's gonna be so nice. Um yeah, it's gonna be really nice. And I looked at what I would want if what I would want in a tool, and I'm dumping everything in the tool. So it's a lot. This is a long episode. Go to the website in about 10 minutes, and everything you need is gonna be right there for you to see. I did a whole article about it. And these are the things that I do. These are the things that I do. Some of the tools that I use, like I use Buffer to syndicate stuff. I use Opus Clips to syndicate my Bookpreneur podcast. You know, people like, you put out a lot of content. Yeah, I create one video and I chop it up with AI into a bunch of other videos, and I schedule to go out for like 8 days just in case I miss a day and I don't record a new episode. I got some wiggle room because I already got some scheduled out to like Monday. So I normally record on Friday or Sunday, and then I record it and I syndicate. I take the audio from that and I put it on podcasts. Now, what's interesting about that? All links link back to my books, all of them. Like I do this podcast, I talk about AI. It's a link back to my book on the article. I do Bookpreneur, which is a video. I take the audio and I put it on you. Put the video on YouTube. I put the audio on podcast. There's a link back to the book. And that comes out on Wednesday, right? So I schedule that to come out on Wednesday, and then I have all these tiny segments of me talking that comes out Monday through Friday, Monday through Monday. So it's a lot. I get it, but it's my business. So I have to do all I have to do to make sure that the business is running like a business. Whew, I feel like and I didn't even get to everything that's in this article. When I tell you it's a lot of stuff in the article, it's a lot of stuff. So what I'm going to tell you to do, and give me about 10 minutes to finish up this episode once I close out. And give me about 10 minutes and the article will be published. All right, I'm going to go to a song. Then I'm going to come back and give you my words of inspiration for the day. So stay tuned. I'll be right back.
Frosty nights are drawing near, sparkling lights and festive cheer. Warm cocoa by the fire's glow, whispers soft as falling snow. Ornaments on evergreen, gentle hum of joy unseen. Candles lit with warm embrace, mistletoe above your place. Christmas is almost here, peace and love are feeling near. Wrap yourself in winter's charm, let the world hold you in arms. Footprints in the powdered white, carols echo through the night. Magic's found in every flake, heartstrings tied for goodness sake. Gifts of kindness wrapped in bows, love that every heart bestows. Memories made with those so dear, bringing light to all that's here. Christmas is almost here, peace and love are feeling near. Wrap yourself in winter's charm, let the world hold you in arms. coated white. Carols echo through the night. Magic's found in every flake. Heartstrings tied for goodness sake.
Welcome back, welcome back. So listen, guys, that's all I got for you today. But before I go, I just want to give you some words of inspiration. Now is now is one of the most intriguing times I've ever seen in my history. Maybe there are people who are older than me who've seen better times or more exciting times and scary times at the same time. Here's what I would say. Don't let fear stand in the way of your dreams. Don't let hard work stand in the way of your dreams. Don't let people who are pessimistic stand in the way of your dreams. You stand on business. You hear what I'm saying? I need you to stand on business in 2025. Stand on business, get stuff done. I want to say something else, but I'm trying to keep it PG. Get stuff done. Make your dreams come true. I'm making mine come true. I've struggled for a long time. I've been an entrepreneur for a long time. I've never hit the main goal that I want to hit was to have a multi-million-dollar empire. I haven't hit that goal. I'm gonna hit it this year. I already know everything in me. This is a different year. This next year you'll be talking to me. I'll be on some island doing this show because it's holiday season. I already know that. I want you to do the same thing. Take a minute. As a matter of fact, take two. Sit down with yourself and just you. Because here's the other thing. You can't get people are not going to understand your dreams, right? People are not going to put in the work that you're going to put in. People are not going to go to the lengths that you're going to go in for your dreams. You need to be able to do that for yourself. You need to say, you know what? I want this so bad. I want it like I need oxygen. I want it like I need to breathe. That's how bad I want it, y'all. This year, that's how bad I want it. Know why? Because I can see it. Like I used to struggle seeing it. See it now. I see it just as clear as I'm talking to you right now. But it's gonna take me following through on my end of what I'm supposed to be doing. It's gonna take me making a dedication and commitment to what I say I want. It's gonna take you doing the same thing. Yes, it's scary. Yes, you gonna cry sometimes. You're gonna figure out why. You're gonna say, why did I start this? Why did I listen to that lady on that podcast over in Georgia? She don't know what she was talking about. This is hard. It is. I'm not telling you that to scare you or to deter you. It's hard. But I love it. It wakes me up every day. I got a reason. My family, my friends, and this what I'm doing right now. It's a reason. I got a goal. I got a bunch of them. And guess what? AI changing the game. It's changing the game for every. I don't care if you've been in prison. Do you hear what I'm saying? I don't care if you're sitting in prison right now. Do you know I was on TikTok one night and there was some people in prison on the cell phone? I was like, wait a minute. And the women, it was dudes. The women, I'm sitting there looking. I said to my husband, hey, they let people have phones in prison. The women were talking to the men. They want to see them when they get out. I'm like, you for real? Here's my thing. If you ain't got nothing but time, you locked up over there, and you over there looking at women. How about you write some books with AI? Write that story. Write the story you living right now. Especially you think you're gonna get out. And if you ain't gonna get out, I don't know what to tell you. But the ones that figure I'm gonna get out, write the book right now. And then get out. Cause they already waiting for you. They done told you, hey, listen, y'all think I'm making this up. It is guys, probably girls too. I haven't seen any girls. There are guys who had a cell phone in the jail in prison. And they were all sitting there in a group talking. I'm like, what in the what? And I'm sitting there watching the women talking about, can't, oh, you so cute. Write you a book, bruh. She think you cute. Write you a book. Let her publish it for you. When you get out, y'all get together and make that money. That's all I got for you. Could be anywhere in the world. I don't know. That sounds crazy, but listen, it is what it is. They're talking to them. They waiting for them to get out. Write a book while you're in there. Use AI. Write that book in a day. Give it to her. Hey, go get this published for me. When I get out, we gonna do this thing. We gonna stand on business together. Cause I'm liking you. I don't know how that's gonna work out for somebody, but I'm just saying. Listen, thank you for listening. You could be, I feel like I was rambling. I hope I wasn't. Because my mind had when I talk about this type of thing, my mind is going a million miles an hour. So I'm trying to keep up with my thoughts. I hope I was not rumbling and mumbling and just running on and on. If I was, go to goodmorninggwinnett.com in about 5 minutes. The entire article is there. So if you couldn't understand what the heck I was saying, go read the article. It's all there for you. All right. All right, you could have been anywhere, but you spent the last 54 minutes with me, and I love and appreciate you for that. If you miss any episodes of this show, be sure to go to goodmorninggwinnett.com to listen to past episodes. Also, be sure to connect with me on social media at Good Morning Gwinnett. Also, be sure to share the show with a friend. Hey, do me a favor. Go to the YouTube channel at Good Morning Gwinnett and subscribe to this channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000. I have yet to hit 1,000 subscribers on any YouTube channel. This year, I'm going to hit it. I'm going to hit it on the Bookpreneur, and I'm going to hit it on Good Morning Gwinnett. Because once I get to 1,000 and 4,000 listening and watch hours and all that good stuff, I become a partner. I want to be a partner. I really want that button. I know that sounds so shallow, right? I want the YouTube button. I have a wall in front of me, the inspiration wall. It has all these amazing women in picture frames. So let me tell you on my wall. I have Tyra Banks, I have Rachel Ray, I have Mary Kay, I have B. Smith, Madam C.J. Walker, Queen Latifah, Michelle Obama, Kathy Hughes, Oprah Winfrey, and Sheila Johnson. This is my wall of inspiration. These are the women who have made something out of nothing, and their legacies are living on and growing. I like it. So I want the YouTube button to sit right on that side of the wall, and on the other end, I got Art by my baby. So Art by Carter is on that same inspiration wall. It's like her first little artwork. I don't even know how old she was. There's some apples on there, some oranges, and some things I can't tell you. Some kind of black fruit. I don't know what that is. And there's a little girl over there. She got one green leg, one yellow leg, one blue eye, one purple eye. And then she got some blue hair, some red hair, and one black arm and one brown arm. So that's my artwork by my baby, right? But I want the YouTube button, and maybe that's vain, but that's a goal for me. In 2025, I got to get to 1,001 subscribers on my YouTube channel so I can get the YouTube button. I want that button. I do. All right, I gotta go. Thank y'all again. I'll be back again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Tomorrow's Talk Tech Tuesdays. I feel like all the shows are the same. Like, I feel like I'm talking tech and business on all the shows. And I caught myself trying to split it up. So I'm talking tech on one show and business on another show. And they just keep running together. So I gotta figure that out. Anyway, I'll be back again tomorrow at 10 a.m. God willing. You guys stay safe out there. And until next time, my friends, until next time, make it a great day. Bye, everybody.
You've been listening to Good Morning Gwinnett, hosted by Audrey Bell-Kearney. If you missed an episode, go to goodmorninggwinnett.com for past episodes and local news. Do us a favor and click the link in the description to support the show for just $5.99 a month and share it with a friend.